Hello everybody, my name is Gloria and I will be talking to you about why tattoos should be acceptable in society and in the professional world. The popularity of tattoos is growing immensely. An estimated 21% of adults in the United States, which is more than 65 million people, have at least one tattoo. And when you get under the age of 40, that number doubles. So 42% of our generation have at least one tattoo. And for the adults that are over 40, of those 21%, the demographic that is most there is middle-aged women. So pretty much all of your moms could have tattoos. Or like half of your moms, so 4 of your moms could have tattoos. And you might not even know it, I don't know. Tattoos have reached beyond the circles of social outcasts and into the world of the social norm. A tattoo shop in Southern California it stands as the beacon of tattoo culture in like the 1960s when you got tattoos just to be an outcast or rebel against society. But they also cater to the new popularism of tattoos. So you can go there if you just want to get a tattoo, I guess for the fun of it, or if you have a tattoo that has meaning for it. And that's from an article that was written by the Southern California University newspaper. They decided that since tattooing has become more mainstream, that they would continue tattooing people even if it wasn't to rebel against society and if maybe it was for cosmetology purposes instead. Most people don't realize that tattooing wasn't originated in America. A lot of foreign cultures use tattooing for things other than cosmetology and for looking good. And they also, the ancient cultures that we all know, like ancient China and ancient Egypt, we find mummies that have tattoos on them. Not really common knowledge, but we do. And it came to Europe in 1769 by way of Polynesia. A sailor named Captain James Cook saw tattooing being performed in Polynesia and asked the Polynesians to explain to him how it was done, and they explained the injecting of ink with the needles, and they explained the meaning of it as well, of how it was used to either differentiate between tribes or even differentiate between like a chief of a tribe and things like that. Also, the Native Americans that lived in America used it as well. When tattoos started in America, there was no meaning for them. Like I said before, they were for social outcasts, and they wanted to rebel against society. But now there is meaning to most people's tattoos, which is really great because I feel like it's an expression of your emotions. Most people get them as memorial tattoos or remembrances, which is what most of mine are. And I don't think that the tattoo should define the person. I think that the person should define that tattoo, and that's why they get them. They get them because they want to express themselves, and that it should define them and not the other way around. As tattooing becomes more popular, it's being used, like I said before, in cosmetology, so like you can get your eyebrows like tattooed on so that they always look perfect, or get eyeshadow tattooed on. It is also being used in medical procedures. In the last few decades, tattooing has gained recognition in clinical medicine. So it's being used in reconstructive surgery. So if you were in like a really bad accident or you have a birth defect, you can get it covered up by a tattoo. And not only just like a picture of something, like you can get flesh-colored tattoos that maybe cover up the scars and can make them look more presentable, but you can also get real tattoos on them. It's also being used for marking certain parts of the body and relocalization. So if somebody's going under for surgery and they need to move some skin grafts to another place, instead of using a marker that might be wiped off by blood, they use tattoos. There are a lot of politics and laws for tattooing, much more complicated than you think. There are a lot of copyright laws that are involved with this. If a tattooer creates their own original artwork, they legally are not allowed to tattoo it on anybody else unless the person who is getting it tattooed on them gives permission to the other person. And that's the same with if a customer comes in with a drawing that they did on their own, they can only do it if they give permission to the other person. And most of the time that's like for like mother-daughter tattoos or best friend tattoos. I know one of my friends was in a really bad car accident with one of his best friends, and they both got a tattoo of a clover because they were so lucky that they made it out alive. So it was their own idea. So, but there are also certain images that you will see in all of tattoo shops across the world, like a butterfly that goes on the lower back of a woman, like almost everybody. Like a lot of people have that. So it's something that isn't protected under the copyright law because it's common knowledge. So my personal experience with tattoos is odd because my mom bought me my first tattoo, which is not usually what happens, and I was only 16, which is earlier than most people get tattoos. And my family wasn't really that cool about it, like the older generations of my family, so I had to convince them of why I got the tattoos and why the meaning of them was really important. So I'm going to go over here, and you can still kind of see the screen from the video. But this was my first tattoo, the Rest in Peace one. That was for my dad. He died when I was 8, and my mom bought me that first tattoo so that I could remember him. The Yankee symbol I got added on later. He was a huge Yankees fan, so that's why I got that one. The music symbol I got right before I came to college here. I'm a music major, as all of you know. So that one really pertained to like the rest of my life. This one is my mom and my dad's name. You can't really see it that well, but my dad had the same tattoo of his name on his arm. It was tinier though, because that's kind of weird to have your name tattooed on you, but he did. That was the only tattoo he had, so I really wanted to get it. And then my mom was just kind of like a spur of the moment thing, and she didn't really like it at first, but she came to love it and was happy. This I got after one of my best friends died on Valentine's Day last year. Her mom really wanted her to like be remembered as like a butterfly coming out and stuff like that. So that one's nice. And then the last two that I've gotten are these ones. I got the love one because, again, my friend Caitlin had a tattoo that was very similar to that. So I made my own adaptations on it and got it done. And the toe one is just really funny because I have webbed toes. So like, you know, when you get it in the mail, you have that little scissors thing to cut on the dotted line. So it was just kind of a funny tattoo. That's pretty much the only one that doesn't have meaning for me. So what I'm trying to say in this is that I want to be a teacher. I'm an education major, so I have all of my tattoos in places that I can cover them up. So I want to be able to show my emotions and everything like that in my workplace without being judged for it. So I just want to be a teacher without my tattoos defining me. I want to define them. I got all of my information from the article for the University of California, like I said. Also, an article off of EBSCOhost, the tattoo from social outcast to genetic modification, which is the cosmetology one, and intellectual property norms in the tattoo industry, which is a dissertation about tattoos. So, thank you.